What's going on, folks? We have an update. The DC squatter is evicted. The homeowner has finally gained the rights back to their own home and have finally had the ability to get this alleged squatter out of their property. And what we're seeing is a number of people that are stepping up from the community, helping this homeowner evict this tenant, because you just never know what could happen during an eviction process, especially as a young lady and a hostile squatter. You're literally going into your property and you're grabbing their things and you're throwing it to the curb. In this scenario, this homeowner is doing so in a neat manner, but you just never know. And so luckily the community has stepped in and they are helping this tenant move these things out of this property, which is really, really good to see, because I can only imagine how this homeowner feels if they were to come face to face with this alleged squatter outside of the courtrooms, outside of, the news cameras and the police presence. And so I'm pretty positive that this homeowner at one point wanted to kick this door in and grab this alleged squatter by the collar and toss him out the door like Uncle Phil did in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? So, I mean, this has got to be a feeling of relief, accomplishment, but unfortunately, this homeowner is left holding the bag because they haven't generated any revenue from this property, no cash flow for 10 plus months. It's just unfortunate that this homeowner has had to kind of go through this process. But why'd they zoom in on the Crocs? It's actually good to see that this person was successful at getting this person out of this house and getting to the point where we're moving out their stuff from their own home, right? So if you are unaware, the DC judge ruled this past Thursday that the squatter does not have tenancy rights, and they actually sided with the homeowner for once.
Because she thought this was her house. She had no intention of leaving.
Insanity. So this homeowner, let's acknowledge the obvious here. This is somebody who followed the rules for months, probably longer than their sanity wanted them to, right? And so this is not harsh at all. She's going in and she's grabbing up every single item of this alleged squatter and just throwing it in the bag. She's being respectful of the individual's materials, don't get me wrong, but she's like, look, let's get this stuff out of here as quick as possible. And so this isn't harsh at all. The thing about it is, what is that? Is that lean? Is that syrup? Jeez. What's really harsh about this is losing access to your own home while somebody else lives there rent-free, runs utilities, and tells you you have to go to court to get your own keys back. And here's the part that most people don't understand unless you're a landlord. The moment somebody claims tenant rights, whether it be valid or not, everything stops. You can't touch their stuff. You can't change the locks. You can't shut off utilities. Hell, you can't even sneeze too aggressively without risking a lawsuit. And so when the judge finally says this person is not a tenant, they must vacate. To the homeowner, this house is not just an asset, right? This is where most of your stuff is. You, as an Airbnb host, have to still have a bed, couches, utensils in the kitchen, potentially, washer and dryer. Like, this is your stuff. And this is where you potentially have memories. And this may have been this homeowner's primary residence at one point, and you would think that you have a sense of safety out of a property that you own and have inhabited at one point. So imagine watching a stranger live comfortably in your space while you're paying the mortgage and the insurance and the utilities and the legal fees. Ownership still has to mean something. I really am happy for this property owner to be able to have gained access back to their property. And I am hoping that they are able to make themselves whole in one format or another. But it's going to take months, even years, before this homeowner gets back to a point where they're at square one with their finances, mentally. I mean, imagine the stress that you have to endure when it comes to managing a squatter living in a property that you're responsible for. You can't even imagine it. And so really praying for this homeowner and wishing her luck as she goes through the process of getting back her sanity and the ownership of this property and getting the property back to a point where she can do something with it, whether it be to sell it, rent it out again, put it back on Airbnb. Hopefully not the third option. You may want to keep it off of Airbnb for a bit. But thanks for listening to me ramble. Would love to know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.